The movie screen went red. Not dark. Not black. Red. A loud alarm screamed through the theater, sharp enough to make everyone cover their ears. The lights exploded into a cold blue flash, and the screen froze on one single image. Freddy's face. Then Freddy turned his head. Not in the movie. In the theater. Metal joints clicked as the animatronic stood up from the front row. Its eyes glowed bright blue, shining through the darkness as it looked around the room, slow and careful, like it was choosing who to watch first. On the frozen screen behind it, bold white letters appeared for a few seconds. 5 Nights at Freddy's 8. Only in cinemas, January 2nd. The letters vanished. The exit doors slammed shut. Locked. Freddy smiled. And the countdown began. Earlier that night, January 2nd felt boring. The holidays were over. School was about to start again. The streets were quiet, and the fireworks were gone. That's why Alex thought the movie was a perfect idea. One more horror movie before life gets boring again, Alex said, holding up his phone. It's only playing tonight. Beside him, his sister Ryan rolled her eyes. Every scary movie you say that about ends up being dumb. It won't be, said Chris, walking behind them. No trailers. No ads. Just a poster. That makes it worse, said Emma quietly. The theater stood at the end of the block, old and worn. The sign flickered blue and white, and some letters didn't light up at all. The building looked darker than the rest of the street, like the light didn't want to stay on it. Ryan slowed down. Are you sure this place is open? Alex pointed. Lights are on. Inside, the lobby was silent. No music. No talking staff. Just the hum of the lights and the smell of old popcorn. A man stood at the ticket counter. He didn't smile. 4 tickets, Alex said. The man handed them over slowly. The paper felt cold. Screen 8, the ticket said. Once the movie starts, the man said. Please remain seated. Chris frowned. Why? The man looked up. For the experience. That answer made Emma feel sick. They walked into the theater. It was half full. Teens whispering. A few adults sitting alone. Everyone looked excited, but nervous too. The lights were already dim. Ryan leaned close to Alex. This already feels wrong. The movie didn't start with previews. It started with a black screen. A ticking sound filled the room. Tick. 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 A digital clock appeared. 11:59 p.m. Alex felt his heart beat faster. The clock flipped. 12 a.m. The movie began. At first, it was normal. Security cameras. Dark hallways. Freddy standing still on a stage. The sounds were quiet and slow. 5 minutes passed. Then a teenager near the back stood up. Is the sound messed up? The movie froze. The theater lights flickered blue. The teen laughed nervously. Okay, cool joke. The exit doors slammed shut. Hard. People gasped. Someone ran to the doors and pulled. Locked. The screen went black. White words appeared. No exit. No pause. Alex pulled out his phone. No signal. Emma whispered. Alex, I don't like this. The speakers crackled. A calm voice spoke. Welcome to night 1. Something scraped the floor behind them. Metal. Chris turned around. Did you hear that? A loud bang hit the ceiling. Dust fell onto the seats. A vent near the front of the theater started shaking. The screen flickered back on. The clock now read 12:07 a.m. The movie continued, but the sounds felt wrong. Footsteps sounded closer than the screen showed. Breathing felt real, like someone was standing right behind them. The vent burst open. Something fell out. A metal hand hit the floor and twitched. People screamed. The hand dragged itself forward, fingers scraping loudly against the floor. Then the screen glitched. Static filled the theater. And Freddy stepped out of the movie. Now, in the present, Freddy stood in the aisle, taller than the seats. His metal body was scratched and worn. His eyes moved slowly, stopping on Alex. Alex whispered, "This isn't part of the movie." Freddy's head turned toward him. Like it heard him. The speakers crackled again. "Night 1 has begun," the calm voice said. Freddy took one step forward. People ran. Seats flipped. Someone fell. Someone screamed and went quiet. Alex grabbed Ryan's hand. "Move!" They ran toward the side aisle. Chris and Emma followed close behind. They reached the exit door. Alex slammed his shoulder into it. It didn't move. Behind them, Freddy laughed. A deep, broken sound that echoed through the theater. The screen turned on again, now showing the theater from above, like a security camera. A red dot blinked in the corner. Rec. A timer appeared. 12:10 a.m. Emma stared at the screen. "It's recording us." Freddy suddenly moved faster. Alex turned to run. And the movie screen cracked open again. But this time, it showed a long hallway. Bright white lights. Cameras lining the ceiling. Doors with warning signs. Words appeared on the screen. "Security access. Employees only." The front doors burst open. Not to the lobby. To the hallway from the screen. Freddy stopped and pointed toward it. "Proceed," the calm voice said. The timer kept counting. And the hallway lights flickered on. The hallway lights flickered once, then stayed on. Bright white. Too clean. Alex stood frozen, staring at the long hallway that had opened where the theater doors used to be. Cameras lined the ceiling, turning slowly, following every move. Red warning lights blinked near the corners like angry eyes. Behind them, Freddy did not move. He stood in the aisle, smiling, watching. Ryan squeezed Alex's hand. "I don't want to go in there." Chris swallowed. "We don't have a choice." The calm voice spoke again, coming from the walls, the ceiling, everywhere at once. "Please proceed to the security area. Remaining in the theater is unsafe." As if to prove it, the theater lights behind them went out completely. The blue glow faded. Something heavy shifted between the seats, metal scraping softly. Alex felt his chest tighten. "Okay. We go. Now." They ran into the hallway. The doors slammed shut behind them with a loud crash. The sound echoed again and again, long after the doors stopped moving. The air felt cold. Too cold. Each breath came out shaky. The floor was smooth and white. Black cables ran along the sides, disappearing into the walls. Cameras followed them, clicking softly as they turned. Emma whispered, "This isn't a movie set." "No," the voice replied calmly. "This is an active facility." Ryan stopped walking. "You're lying." The voice posed. "I do not lie." The hallway split into two paths. One glowed blue. The other glowed red. A screen on the wall turned on. "Choose your path." Blue, safety check. Red, performance floor. Chris pointed at the blue path. "Safety. We take safety." Emma shook her head. "Or it's a trick." Behind them, something hit the closed doors. Once. Twice. Hard. Alex didn't wait. "Blue. Go!" They ran down the blue-lit hallway. The lights here were softer, but the walls felt closer, like they were slowly moving inward. The hallway ended at a metal door with a glowing hand symbol. Ryan reached out. The door slid open with a hiss. Inside was a small control room. Screens covered the walls, each showing a different camera view. The theater. The lobby. The hallway behind them. One screen showed Freddy. Still standing in the aisle. Still smiling. A digital clock glowed above the screens. 12:30 a.m. Text appeared beneath it. Shift 1 active. Chris frowned. "Shift?" The calm voice returned. "You are now responsible for maintaining system stability." A new message flashed. Task: keep power above 0. A large lever stood in the center of the room. It shook slightly, like it was struggling to stay in place. Alex grabbed it. I think this controls the lights. He pulled it down. The control room lights flickered. On the screen, the theater lights turned on for a moment. Freddy froze mid-step, 1 foot lifted off the ground. Ryan gasped. It stopped. A loud beep echoed. Power draining. The lever shook harder. Emma pointed to another screen. Look! On a camera showing the hallway ceiling, something crawled past the lights. Smaller than Freddy. Faster. Its eyes glowed blue as it moved upside down. Chris whispered, There's more than one. The lights flickered again. The voice spoke, softer now. Darkness increases activity. The lever snapped upward. The room went dark. For 1 second. Then red emergency lights turned on. On the screen, the smaller animatronic dropped from the ceiling and landed right outside the control room door. Its head twitched as it looked straight at the camera. Ryan screamed. It's right there! The screen flashed. Task failed. Retry required. Alex slammed the lever back down with all his strength. The lights burst on. The animatronic froze inches from the door, its metal fingers raised like it was about to knock. Everyone held their breath. The clock changed. 1 a.m. Chris let out a shaky laugh. We did it! The voice returned. Acceptable performance. Proceed to the next area. A door on the far side of the room slid open, revealing another hallway. This one was darker, lit only by blue lights along the floor. Alex shook his head. I don't trust this. You are progressing as designed, the voice said. Behind them, the screens flickered. The frozen animatronic's finger moved. Just a little. Now! Emma shouted. They ran through the open door. The hallway sloped downward. Warning signs covered the walls. Old posters of smiling animatronics were taped up, their faces scratched and torn. The floor vibrated with a low hum that Alex could feel in his bones. At the end of the hallway was a large room. A stage filled the far wall. Animatronics stood on it. 6 of them. All white. All smiling. All perfectly still. Ryan whispered, Don't move. The door behind them slammed shut. Locked. A screen above the stage turned on. Performance mode. Please remain still. Blue spotlights turned on one by one. The animatronic's eyes lit up. Blue. 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 Chris backed up. Alex. One animatronic lifted its arm. Another tilted its head. A third stepped off the stage. The lights went out. And something breathed right behind them. Alex froze. Warm air brushed the back of his neck. Not human. Not alive. Metal and oil and something sweet, like old candy. Do not move, the calm voice whispered. Movement increases danger. Ryan's hand shook in Alex's. Chris and Emma stood stiff, eyes wide, barely breathing. The blue spotlights flickered back on. The animatronics were closer now. Too close. They stood in a half-circle around the group, smiling the same frozen smile. Their eyes glowed bright blue, lighting the room like tiny flashlights. A soft ding echoed. The screen above the stage changed. 1:01 a.m. Night 1, active. One animatronic lifted its arm. Another tilted its head. A third took a slow step forward. Alex shouted, Run! They ran. The animatronics did not chase right away. They followed. Slow. Heavy. Certain. A door slid open to the side of the stage, glowing blue. Alex pulled Ryan toward it. Chris and Emma followed, their footsteps loud and fast. The door slammed shut behind them just as metal hands hit it. The hallway beyond was narrow and dark. Blue lights ran along the floor, flickering like they might go out at any second. Chris panted, Where are we? A screen on the wall turned on. Security level C. The calm voice returned, but it sounded different now. Lower. Tired. You are doing well, it said. Few complete this process. That's not comforting, Emma said near tears. The hallway opened into a larger control room. Screens covered the walls. Buttons and switches lined a long panel. In the center was a thick glass window. Alex stepped closer. Below the glass was a huge room, filled with animatronics. Dozens of them, standing shoulder to shoulder. All facing the glass. All smiling. Ryan whispered. They were waiting. A digital clock appeared on the main screen. 2 a.m. Text flashed beneath it. Task, maintain balance. 3 large switches were labeled. Lights. Doors. Sound. The lights switch shook. Alex grabbed it and pushed it up. The room brightened slightly. Below, some animatronics froze. Chris ran to the door's switch and pulled it up. On one screen, heavy metal doors slammed shut around the lower room. Emma pointed at the last switch. The sound! A low hum filled the control room, making Alex's head hurt. The animatronics below started to move. Turn it off! Ryan cried. Alex slammed the sound switch up. Silence. The animatronics froze again. Everyone breathed. The clock changed. 2:45 a.m. The calm voice spoke. They are learning. The lights flickered. 2 switches dropped at once. Alex and Chris rushed to hold them up. Below the glass, animatronics began stacking on top of each other. Climbing. Reaching. They're coming up! Emma shouted. The room shook. Something hit the door behind them. Once. Twice. A crack appeared in the metal. The clock jumped. 3:30 a.m. Ryan's voice shook. How long until morning? The voice paused. Until 5 a.m., it said. If systems remain stable. The lights went out. Total darkness. Something slammed into the glass. Hard. Red emergency lights turned on. An animatronic face pressed against the glass. Its smile was wider than the others. Its blue eyes stared straight at Alex. Alex screamed. The lights switch snapped down. Alex threw his whole weight against it. The lights burst back on. The animatronic froze inches from the glass. The clock changed. 4:15 a.m. The voice sounded strained now. You are close. The door behind them exploded inward. Metal flew. 2 animatronics stepped into the room. Their eyes locked onto Ryan. Chris grabbed a chair and threw it. It bounced off one animatronic and fell uselessly. The animatronics stepped closer. All 3 switches dropped at once. Everything went dark. Ryan screamed. Alex felt cold metal grab his arm. No! Alex shouted. He lunged forward and slammed his hand across the control panel. All switches snapped up. The room exploded in blue light. Every animatronic froze. Mid-step. Mid-reach. Mid-grab. The screen flickered. 4:59 a.m. Silence filled the building. Then, 5 a.m. A loud bell rang through the halls. The animatronics collapsed where they stood, crashing to the floor like broken toys. Green exit lights turned on. Unlocked. Alex didn't think. Go! They ran through silent hallways, past frozen faces and dark cameras. They burst through a final door into cold morning air. The sun was rising. Cars passed. Someone jogged by. A dog barked. It was January 2nd. They collapsed on the sidewalk, laughing and crying at the same time. Behind them, the theater looked normal. Dark. Closed. Empty. Police came later. They said there was no screening. No staff. No cameras. No record of anyone inside. The posters were gone. That night, Alex lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. His phone buzzed. A message appeared. Thank you for attending. 5 Nights at Freddy's 8. Only in cinemas. His bedroom light flickered blue. And somewhere, very softly, Freddy laughed.